Okay, 1D and 5D, kind of all over the place here, but they're both not super long, so I thought I'd put them in the same video. Um, so 1D, they give you that there is the graph of the model for D, and that comes from C. That's Ruth's situation. That's Ruth's velocity. So that's Ruth's velocity. So so obviously her derivative would be her acceleration. Okay, so it's really super easy. Well, not super easy. They want to know what whether this is speeding up or slowing down at 1.3. So I'm going to get to the thing that you might be having the actual question with, but let's do the math part first, and then after we do the math part first, I'll explain how we figure out whether it's speeding up or slowing down. So I just need g of this pen's dying on me. Let's try a different one. Okay. G of 1.3, and then we need g prime of 1.3. Now, you probably need to put that in your calculator or type that in. Just put a 1.3 in for the t. So I put that in y1 or y2, and then just find it out. So put it, let's say, like y1. So type that in y1, and then grind out that answer. That answer ends up being 18.096. What's the only thing that's actually important to us is that it's positive. Now, don't take the derivative of that. That'll take you all day, okay? And that might be what you are like, oh crap, I gotta take the derivative of that. Use a calculator. You have an n derivative button on your calculator right below your integral button. Do the n derivative of y1 with respect to x at 1.3. You can actually find the derivative of g once you have g in the graphing calculator by just using the n derivative button, and that ends up being 3.761, which is bigger than 0. Now that may be what you had both of those. Now, here's the thing. If velocity and acceleration are both the same, it's speeding up. In other words, it's going forward and it's accelerating. Or if it's going forward and slowing down. If they're opposite signs, then it's slowing down. Since they're both positive, the speed is increasing. And the explanation is that because these are both positive. So you've done the explanation as well. So on 1D, the key to that question is, now the thing you might be wondering is, well, what if they're both negative? That would still mean speeding up, right? Think of throwing a ball in the air, and then when it comes down, it's speeding up because the acceleration is negative 9.8 meters per second, and the velocity is negative. So just realize that it's slowing down if the signs are opposite. So like if one was positive and one was negative, that would be slowing down. But if they're both positive or they're both negative, now they're both positive in this case, it's speeding up, okay? But it's not that the velocity is positive or that the acceleration is positive. It's the fact that they're both positive. Because if they're both negative, it would be speeding up. If they're opposite signs, it's slowing down. Okay, let's switch gears. We have a particle moving on the x-axis, and we have a particle moving on the y-axis, and that makes a triangle, is what they're saying, okay? And we know an area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height, so it's 1/2 whatever the x function is times whatever the y function is, and that's the area of the triangle. And the question is what is the derivative at 1? Well, it's actually fairly straightforward here. It's going to be a little bit of work. You have to grind it out. We're going to have to do a product rule on this and then put 1 in, right? So it's going to be 1/2 first times the derivative of the second plus don't forget the 1/2 here. Plus the second, I'm putting a bracket on that, put the 1/2 all up front here. Plus the second. It's kind of annoying, right? 15t squared minus 18. And then you have to put 1 in. 1/2, so 5 minus 9 plus 7 times 7 plus 7 plus 3 times 15 minus 18. So, and remember, this whole thing is times 1/2. I'm not sure I'm handling this half in a really good way here. 5 minus 9 is -4, plus 7 is what, 3? 3 times 7 is what, 21? And this is 10, -3. So -30. So I get -9. Half. Don't forget. Don't write -9. You want to make sure you get the 9/2. Oh, you can barely see it. There it is. Okay, so that's the answer to 1D and 5D on the second homework assignment.